Hey guys, what's up? It's Yuri, and in this video I want to show you how you can walk. I'm going to show you 2 ways you can walk off 25 pounds in 30 days. Yep, seriously. Now, obviously, if you don't have 25 pounds to lose, then you're probably not going to lose 25 pounds in 30 days. But I'm going to show you a simple way to use walking more intelligently so you can burn more fat without ruining your body in the process. So I'm gonna get a little technical here, but I'm gonna make it fun. I love this stuff. I love explaining the science and the biomechanics and the physics and physiology behind this stuff in a simple way, because if you get this, you become unstoppable, okay? It's all about understanding and really just understanding this stuff. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do when you're walking, the first thing we're gonna do is, well, actually before I say that, I should mention this. This is where it all comes down to, okay? What it all comes down to is understanding this. And I've mentioned this before, okay? Work equals force times displacement, okay? So this is W for work, F for F, or F obviously, F for force, D for displacement or distance. Work is simply a measure of how many calories we are burning during an activity. So if you're walking, and I'm gonna use an example of myself, okay? So I weigh 70 kilograms, and I'm gonna go for a, I don't know, I'm gonna walk 1,000 meters, okay? So 1 kilometer. So that equals 70,000 kilogram meters. Don't worry about the units. We'll just consider this, the bigger the number, the better. Okay, so this is a unit of work. Again, this is not 70,000 calories because that would be the most impressive walk of all time. But I'm just going to keep things consistent here with the units of measure, but we're just going to worry about the number. Don't worry about the units. Okay, so by this definition, somebody who weighs 75 kilograms will end up doing more work over the same distance, right? That makes sense, right? So one of the myths is that skinny people have a higher metabolic rate or a higher metabolism. The reality is that it's not true. If you weigh more, your metabolism is actually higher because you have to do more work to actually move your body. So when you go for a walk, let's just consider this the baseline, okay? So what's step number 1? The first thing we can do to burn more fat, burn more calories while we're walking is what? Based on this equation, what do you think is a big opportunity for us? Well, sure, we could walk longer, right? But we don't want to do that because we don't have all day to do that. The best thing to do is to increase the force. And by that, all we have to do is throw on some weight. So here's an example. So I go for a walk very often, probably about 3 times a week, with a 50-pound weighted vest over me, okay? So I'm wearing 50 extra pounds on my torso. So we're gonna call this baseline. And 50 pounds divided by 2.2 for kilograms works out to be, let's just call it 20 kilograms. So now I'm walking with 90 kilograms. I'm moving 90 kilograms, right? And let's say I'm moving over the same distance of 1,000 meters. Now we're at 90,000. Again, don't worry about the units. So simply by adding weight to your body, you now start to burn more calories. That kind of makes sense, right? When you work out, you use weights, it's more challenging, you burn more calories. If you don't have a weighted vest, I strongly recommend you get one. You can probably get them on Amazon or pretty much any fitness store. You can also, if you don't have a weighted vest, just throw a knapsack on your back. Throw some textbooks in there, make sure it's nice and secure, and go for a walk. Just doing that alone, your legs are gonna get a lot stronger, and it's going to make things a lot more interesting. Okay, I'm going to show you another cool way that you can, so these two things can work in conjunction with one another. It's not either or, they can be, but together, synergistically, they're even more powerful. Okay, so just remember these numbers for a second, and I apologize for the dogs going crazy upstairs. Okay, so the second thing you want to do is consider moving away from walking on a flat surface to spending more time walking uphill. Now this is tough to do if you live in a flat city like I do, which is Toronto, but you can still find hills every now and then. A simpler way of doing things is to use a treadmill and walk on an incline. So how this works is if we go back to our work equals force times distance equation, when we incorporate an incline, what ends up happening is we multiply the distance, the horizontal distance that the treadmill would show, like 1,000 meters, and we multiply that by the sine of the angle. Now, I know this is getting way too calculus oriented, so I'm going to stop right there. Basically what this means is that we have to account for the vertical distance that we are covering. And again, intuitively we know this, right? The steeper the incline, the more challenging this becomes because we're covering more vertical distance over the same horizontal distance. So we're working against gravity, and that makes it that much more challenging. All right? So just to give you a quick example, so again, I'm using a weighted vest, 50 pounds on top of my body, again, total 90 kilograms. I'm walking 90 kilograms, and if I were to walk 1,000 meters on the treadmill at a 10% incline, the math works out to be about so basically here what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 1,000 meters times the sine of this angle. So that basically works out to be like 0.173 or something. So right away what I'm doing here is I've taken those 9,000 or 90,000, that initial unit that we had just by walking on a flat surface, and now I'm adding probably another 1730 on top of that. So I've added this just from the angle of the incline. Again, if I'm, hopefully I'm not overwhelming you. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. But really what I'm trying to get down to is if you understand the basic premise that if you move against gravity by using an incline in conjunction with adding weight to your torso, while you're walking, you're going to get 10 times more bang for your buck from any walking session you do. Another thing you can do is if you don't have a vest, if you don't have a knapsack, you can just grab some dumbbells and walk with the dumbbells. All right? And what you'll find is, you know this, you walk up a hill, you're out of breath, your legs are burning. That's a great sign that this is working. If you're walking, you go for a walk on a flat surface for half an hour, and you do that all the time, that's no longer a workout. And that's no longer going to be challenging your body to the point to help you burn fats, whether it's 25 pounds in 30 days or any amount of calories over time. So the two things you want to remember: add weight to your person, and number two is spend more time walking on an incline. Got it? And if you're on the treadmill, I must say this: do not hold on to the damn handrails. I see so many people they're walking up a treadmill and they're holding on to the treadmill, and they're taking all the work out of their legs. Right? If it's difficult, that's good. Don't make it easier by holding onto the handrails, because you're going to negate everything we just talked about here. So I think this is the most scientific in terms of calculations I've done ever in a video, and I hope I've made it easy for you to understand. Just remember this. All you have to do is remember this. If you want to do more work, in terms of if you want to burn more calories, you just have to move more weight over a greater distance. And if you move against gravity, so vertically, like on an incline, you are going to be doing more work and burning more calories. Make sense? So let me know what you think in the comments. Join us over at the blog for the full description of all this good stuff. And the link for all that good stuff is below this video. Remember to subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. And thanks for joining me once again. I'm walkīng, here to make your life a little bit simpler and help you live a fit and healthy life without all the complexity. So there we go, guys. Have an awesome day, and start walking a little bit more intelligently and enjoy the benefits.